Now we came to the big toe. Massively important joint. All the architecture of that joint is telling us that it loads. It's a big series of bones with a double pulley underneath, so that the flexor hallucis longus has really got something to allow it to create some torque in there. So we looked at the coupled motion coming up from that big toe lifting. First of all, we did it actively. So we just lifted up the big toe on its own. The ball of the big toe stays down, but as the big toe lifts up, we notice the arch starts to lift up. We noticed my little line of tattoo here starts to rotate out. And then we thought, if we relax the arms, can we send the rotation all the way up to the shoulders? If we can do it on one side, we should be able to do it on the other side. And so just notice if it's similar between the two. We then did a couple of exercises to be able to start exploring this. So the first one was we took our wedge, we took a yoke block. So we got a bit of distance away and we placed the wedge up like that. Now, assuming we don't get a really nasty kind of compression feeling in the front of the joints, this is a lovely exercise to start exploring new range of motion in that big toe. So we put just the big toe up on the wedge, making sure the ball of the big toe stays down again. And then from there, as long as there's no knee pain, we just started allowing that knee to travel to 12 o'clock. And as it travels towards 12 o'clock, you might feel a few things. You might feel a bit more pressure underneath the ball of the toe as it starts to weight bear. You might feel the plantar fascia underneath starting to lengthen. You might even feel it in the back of the Achilles coming back into the calf, getting that sense of length. Now, we played with 3 alternatives. So there was 12 o'clock, then we went ever so slightly inside 12 o'clock with the knee, so it deviates slightly in. And then we had deviations slightly out, which is more supination mechanics, which is the couple mechanics which usually go with this big toe dorsiflexion. Then we played with some isometrics, so we went in, and then just using the big toe, we were thinking of pushing it down like we're pushing on an accelerator. Now, because the block's in the way, it's not really going to go that far, but you'll feel a muscle all the way under the foot, all the way up the back of the calf start to contract. Hold it there for about 10 seconds. Then we do the opposite, just the big toe. You're going to try and lift it off the wedge, but if we're on stretch, it's not going to move. But imagine it as a pressure gauge. You want to start to take pressure off of that wedge, which will then contract everything in the front. And then relax, and you can do a couple more explorations into that to take that newfound strength and then have a walk around on it. And usually what you will find is not only does the big toe move a bit more, but you start to feel a bit more extension in this hip as well, as the motion gets filtered up during the gait cycle.